Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. Today we are having a look at my loadout. So I don't really notice a bunch of YouTubers on World of Warships that have like a loadout or like a video like focused on their setup. Not like setup in real life, because my setup is literally a couch, a controller, and a TV. But my setup like in game. So I'm gonna walk you guys through the setup I have running on destroyer, cruiser, battleship, and carrier. I don't play carrier or destroyer a ton, so these are just the preferences I like having on them. But let's get into the heavy cruiser first, or cruisers. Now, again, you guys know me who have been on this channel. I love running a full accuracy build, the confrontation abilities. For cruisers, I always usually, if there's the options, I run beyond range, igniter, punch through, fixated. Whatever the confrontation is, I run on there. Fully packed, I always run on there for the consumable charges, because cruisers will get sonar or radar. And like Balti, since it's my favorite cruiser in the whole game, I run the radar and sonar, and I'll show you why in a bit. And then I run Norman Scott as my commander. Cruiser main battery shell grouping is increased by 4.5% for better shell grouping, so I can make an impact in the game and also have my shots hit the target. I run Nicole von Essen for the ricochet angle, so it allows me to shoot at a sharper angle. I will show you guys in a second, actually, what that is. Gunther Luchins, I try my best to pronounce it. I get made fun of a lot by that, but it's fine. I try my best. Gimlet, cruiser main gun, AP shell damage is increased by 3.9%, allows the armor-piercing shell to do a lot of damage. Alright, so the commander, let's have a look at the commander, Nicole von Essen. For those who already know how to play the game and understand the ricochet angle of the ship's shells, like, you guys know that. You're fine. This is just like for people who, don't understand it. So ricochet angle, since I'm running him, it's allowing me to shoot at like an angle. So let's say my boat is like maybe at this angle. You probably wouldn't be able to hit that with cruiser guns that don't overmatch it. But I've been able to get the nastiest angles and getting citadels from like this angle. And look at the armor scheme too. Like, I'm able to get the nastiest angles and punch through there and get like citadel shots. It's because of that ricochet angle reduction. It allows me to shoot like through the side of the boat and get some good like pins in there, get some citadels. Like, it's been really nasty. And I like running that because Balti's got the nastiest like angles you can hit on a boat. And it's pretty sick. There are some boats you can't nail that on, like most can't, maybe battleships, maybe you might get some, but like it's tough to do it. Like, getting that angle and hitting it on the spot, it's hard. But yeah, that's the commander I run for that, because I like getting those angles on there. I run the Type 9 camo. There's other camos I run on here, but I run Stars and Stripes as well, usually for like American Holiday or whenever I feel like switching it up. Type 9 camo, maxed out. It's my go-to. I dig the camo. I love the blue. I guess navy blue a little. It's not really navy blue. A little bit. We'll say mix. And so the blue, black, and white I love on here. It looks great on the Baltimore. And the Duck of War flag. Let me explain the Duck of War flag to you guys. I have a bunch of other flags, and out of all the flags, including Team Godzilla, I run Duck of War flag. Duck of War flag is number 1, Team Godzilla is number 2. The reason why Duck of War flag I love so much is because it's a memorable flag that shows that I've been in the tub and like a long time ago, because back then in World of Warships, when it was like a new game, they had like tub wars. So it was like you playing as a boat in a tub with rubber duckies. It was hilarious. Like, it was so fun, and I actually enjoyed it. It was fun. I got the Duck of War flag from it. So the Duck of War flag I always run on every boat to show that I've been here before, and I mean business sometimes, because sometimes I'll goof around because I like to have fun. But Duck of War flag I run on there just to show I've been here for a while and I know somewhat what I'm doing. All right. Sonar I prefer over the A defense fire. You can use that against carriers because you get carriers in every match. But I'm not really worried about the carriers as much. I'm more worried about destroyers. That's why I run sonar, so I can be able to pick up torpedoes and also ships that are in sonar range. Radar, if you got radar, use the freaking radar. Like, radar is money. You get 9 kilometers of radar in Balti. and it just allows you to pick up ships and absolutely ruin their day if you're in the right position. You also get heals on this thing, which is really nice. Yeah, so the commander allows the artillery to increase in rating, same with survivability, defense, maneuverability, and concealment, depending on what you're running in your commander. And again, I like putting everything into artillery and some concealment and a little bit of survivability. Baltimore statistics, I mean, 38 battles played. If you look at AL Balti, it's a different story. But yeah, that's what I run for my heavy cruisers. Like, this is what I genuinely enjoy. I run mostly into main battery, not really secondaries, because, you know, the cruisers aren't really built for secondaries. There are some that are. I think Schroeder, I can't really name them all, but there are some freaking cruisers that you can run for secondary builds, and they'll be absolutely nasty. So for the upgrades I like to run with Baltimore is aiming systems mod 1. I could go traverse speed, but again, I don't really need it. It's not a big deal on this boat. It just depends on the boat you have. Propulsion mod. This is something I always have on here. I like to go back and forth avoiding torpedoes and boats. It saves me a lot. Propulsion mod has always saved me in a ton of matches whenever I'm playing. Like, it's always, like, it's just a preference I always have to have on a boat. And if propulsion mod is not there, like if I don't have propulsion mod on there, I run steering gears mod if propulsion's not there. Destroyers is a different story because I run steering gears on my Kagero because it's already fast enough to the point where it's like, okay, you don't really need propulsion. I run concealment mod 1. I also run this on my battleships and destroyers, of course, so that I can get away with detectability, get some shots off, and then go dark. So I run concealment on there. It's just a personal preference I like to have on my boats. Same with gunfire and control system mod 2. Main battery dispersion is minus 3%. Main battery range is 5%, plus 5% increased. Main battery dispersion minus 3%. It just allows me to be more accurate and have more range. So I like to have gunfire control system mod on there. I run main battery mod 3 for Yamato because I get extra time on the reload, so it allows me to get more shots off. 27-second reload is what I have on Yamato. It does take down the main battery traverse speed, but what I like to do is I run main battery mod 2, allows the traverse speed to be increased by 20%. So when I run the main battery mod reload, or the main battery mod 3, it allows me to have a 5% extra traverse speed, including the minus 15% and 20%. So yeah, that's what I run for my cruisers. Let's get into the destroyers. So we're going to go over gunboat destroyer and torpedo destroyer. Black Bee and Kagero are going to be the examples here. Black Bee, I run full like gun layout because it's a gunboat. Like, I run everything on guns, like the reload time, destroyer, like armor piercing, HE, shell damage, like anything with armor or the shell type and also the gun reload, I run everything on there. And a little bit of smoke on there for survivability. Unstoppable, I usually run. And like everything for a gunboat destroyer, I just run all into the guns. Set up a smoke screen, and what's nice about Black is that you get a radar. Like, it's insane. You go into the smoke screen, radar up, and if there's a destroyer there, you can just light them up. Like, it's insane. So, gunboat destroyer, what I run is aiming systems mod 1, AA guns. Sorry, not AA guns, holy crap. I run propulsion mod. Propulsion mod is something I like to have all the time. Concealment mod, and I run main battery mod 3 for main battery reload time. All right, now let's get to Kagero. So we're gonna have a look at Kagero. This is my torpedo build for torpedo destroyers. Everything I run torpedo, whatever I got. The reason why I'm not running torpedo safari though on Kagero is because I like having perceptive, being able to look at ships like that are not detected. It allows me to give a general idea of where they are if we can't pick them up and it's towards the end of the game. So I just run that. I have been switching between torpedo safari and perceptive. I like perceptive a little more there. And then smoke on the water, like to have that extra smoke time and deployment time, dispersion time. Look at me now, see detectability range is decreased. So the detectability on my Kagero is pretty insane. We're going to look into that in a second. I like to run torpedo speed, make sure those torps are getting there faster. Unstoppable again, I run that. So yeah, if it's a torpedo destroyer, I want to be sneaky and I want those torpedoes to deal damage. I run torpedo range and destroyer detectability is decreased. So destroyer wise, my camo, I run the Type 9 camo. It came with a boat, and I think the Type 9 camo looks amazing. I love the coloring on it, the dark kind of green, kind of poop kind of color. I like the color though. I think it looks pretty good, especially for the Japanese destroyer. The clouds on the front of the boat, like that looks pretty cool. I like the lines going into it, and the little like circles in the back too, like the little bubbles. I like to picture. Like it looks sick. I think it looks great on Kagura. It looks good on the guns. Looks good on the hull, the main tower. Duck of War flag, of course. Love the Duck of War flag. Always run it on everything. Besides heat ray, because the reason why I keep it on, I don't put Duck of War flag on heat ray, is because you got the Godzilla flag and you got Godzilla on your boat. So it's like you might as well run the full thing. But Duck of War flag goes on everything, like no matter what. All right, let's get into the carriers before we get into battleships and conclude the video. Carrier, Kaga. Kaga, for example, I like the camo on there. I'm running the camo that came with it, the standard type. I think the camo on the Kaga looks amazing. I love the little, I love the dot on the ship for symbolizing Japan and its flag. And the green camo with the mix of brown on the deck, like it makes it, like it looks good. It's just showing like it's giving off like color that like shows that it is a deck, like there is a deck there and it's got some camo. Like the mix of the green and brown I kind of like, and it like kind of fits like the deck, like making it look pretty cool for it. So I do not mind that. The white, red, and green, the dark green, like it looks great on the boat in general. Like it looks amazing. Again, Duck of War flag, I run everything on it. The Duck of War flag is amazing. But yeah, the carrier looks amazing with this camo on. What I run for my carrier is I mostly run everything into airplanes. So like bombers, torpedo bombers. And if I can't get anything into torpedo bombers or bombers, I just put it into the AA so they shoot it down. That's what I mostly run on my carriers. Again, I'm not a carrier main, so there's not a whole ton I run with my carriers. Flight control mod 1, aircraft restoration times minus 15%, so I get my planes back really fast. And then we have Air Group's mod 2, dive, skip bomber, and torpedo bomber HP is increased by 3%, allows my planes to last longer so I could get more hits off. Concealment mod, I gotta be sneaky as a carrier. And more HP into my torpedo and dive and skip bomber health points increased by 4%, and the return speed is increased by 25% so they can come back faster and have some, bombers I can use against my opponents. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, or I guess I've been waiting for, the battleships. Now, I run full accuracy build for those, again, who've been on the channel for a while. You know I love to run a good full accuracy build on all my battleships. I like to be accurate. I like to hit my target. I run flammable cannoneer. I run gyrating drill bits, marksmanship, and reaching out XXL. I make sure my hits count whenever I'm playing in a battleship. Again, not every hit's going to count, but I make sure that everyone counts and that I'm making a mark on the team and that I'm actually contributing to the team and trying to win the game for my team and as a team. Like, you could play this game for damage and trying to get, like, good ships and stuff. Like, that's how I originally used to play. But once you start getting into the game, it's not really about, like, getting a ton of damage. It matters about how much you contribute to the team. So that's what I do as a battleship. And the battleship is my main. So I know, like, I played battleships for, like, a very long time. When I started first playing this game, I didn't know what I was doing. And then I started to understand the game more and more as I played on and on. And I started getting to the battleships, finding my gameplay, and it's on the American side. Like, the American battleships, they've always been good for me. They fit my play style, and I enjoy it. We run William Sims for our commander for our full accuracy build. Gives us some extra HP. Andrew Cunningham is what I use for free to play. Battleship main battery shell grouping is increased by 4.5%. Angelo Chino, I recommend using him as well. He gets increased shell grouping when you're shooting at battleships, cruisers, and destroyers. And the cruisers get almost 6% when you're shooting at them. So if I upgrade Lachino, get him maxed out, that's going to be like 6%. And then maybe the battleships and destroyers can go to 3%. Maybe. I don't think it can go to 3%, but I know I can make that cruiser 6%. So that's the commander I run. Again, the traits I run is just full accuracy build on this sucker. All right. let's get into the camo. I have a lot of camo for this boat. But again, I run Type 9 camo. I think it looks amazing. I love the black, blue, and white running on the Iowa. The wavy motion that it gives on it to it too. The stripes in the back a little. Like, it generally looks good on this battleship, and I really like it. I like the coloring on it, on the guns, the secondary armament, on the engine, the hull, the tower. Like, it looks good, and I like it. If I were to run, like, let's say I didn't have Type 9 camo, this would probably be my main camo, is stars and stripes. I love the stars that are going along the front of the ship, and like the blue on the front, and then the red and white in the back. Again, I'm in America. I love America, and I just think the coloring on this thing looks amazing. I love it. You could throw it on other, nations, and make it look like pretty good. Like, that's your own opinion. Again, the camos are just my opinion and what I think looks good on my boats. I do have some other camo. If I don't have Type 9 or Stars and Stripes, like Alaska, Montana, and Maine, I run shadow camo on them. I do like the shadow camo on my USA battleships as well. It looks pretty good. I just don't run it on Iowa. There's just like a little brown showing on it. Again, it shows a little rust on the battleships where you're running the shadow camo, but on Alaska, it just looks clean on it, in my opinion. I have ran Ultimate Titan on this, and personally, I don't like it anymore. It's just there's just so much blue on it. Like, it doesn't look bad. I just kind of wish there was more black rather than blue. It's like, picture the whole ship more black, and then you have like the blue stripes going on it. I think that looks cool. Like the heat ray look, like it's mostly black, and then you have some blue. I wish they did that for the Godzilla Ultimate Titan camo. Like, I think that would look pretty cool on it. I put it something like this, like Kong's camo. Like, this is what Kong's camo is. I don't mind it. I think the orange like cracks in it make it look pretty cool. I think they could have done a little more with it, but again, that's just my opinion. I think it looks good. I've thrown it on a couple times. It looks pretty solid. It kind of looks like the ship is slowly cracking and like lava's about to spill out on it. Like, it looks cool. I like it. But again, I run Type 9 camo. It's what I like, in my personal opinion. I run observation seaplane, better shell grouping for my boat. That way I'm able to hit my target because I'm running a full accuracy build. Let's go look at upgrades. So upgrades on battleships, it's different between cruisers and destroyers, besides the Kagero destroyer, because Kagero I run main battery because the turning radius on it is kind of bad. But for Iowa, I run the traverse speed so I can get my guns around quicker in case there's a ship off on my left and I'm facing right, so I can get my guns off quicker on that side. So I run main battery traverse speed. Propulsion mod, again, personal preference. That's what I enjoy playing with, is the propulsion mod too, so that way I can be able to go back and forth and avoid torpedoes. Next, I run concealment mod. That way I can be able to get shots off and go dark sometimes. But again, as a battleship, it's not bad to run target acquisition system mod 1. You could run that as a battleship captain. Like, it doesn't, you can run concealment system mod and get away with a couple of shots. But there's nothing wrong with target acquisition system mod 1 because you pick up ships, better spotting. But I just prefer to go dark, in my opinion, with a concealment mod. Okay, this one, I could run main battery mod 3 for main battery reload time to decrease that. But again, personal opinion, I enjoy the main battery dispersion decrease. That way my ship's a lot more accurate when I'm shooting. And it's an epic boost, so every 30,000 damage, I get an increase, or I guess decrease, minus 2%. So like, it's giving me a buff every 30,000 damage, but it's decreasing my dispersion so I can be more accurate. So I run artillery plotting room mod 2. That way I can get better hits and more accurate shots. So that is my loadout and setup for all the boats I pretty much run. Yamato, again, I run the plotting room. No, it's the reload one, because I got that down to 27 seconds on my Yami. But yeah, that's what I run on World of Warships Legends. That's what I prefer to play with destroyer, cruiser, battleship, and aircraft carrier. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.